Welcome beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family, and in today's video I'll be ranking 10 new summer transfers from all different clubs, including Jude Bellingham, McAllister, Lucas Hernandez, Christopher Nkunku, Kai Havertz, Declan Rice, Sandro Tonale. Here we go. First player is Bellingham, obviously going from Borussia Dortmund to Real Madrid for a fee of around 100 million plus around 20 million in bonuses. Obviously Bellingham, one of the top prospects across Europe, especially when it comes to midfield. Young, hungry, talented, and I believe Real Madrid have gotten a really good player here for their midfield. They're gonna play for them for a very long time. I would give this transfer a rating of 8.5. I believe the fee is the thing that makes it a bit hard to give it a 9, 9.5 or a 10, but it's a really great signing for Real Madrid. Next up, Sandro Tonale. Obviously, the player wanted to stay at AC Milan, but was forced away to Newcastle after them bidding 70 million, which I believe could have been his release clause or just too much money for AC Milan to say no to. He goes to Newcastle. This is a great signing for Newcastle United, who are pushing and pushing season by season. And who knows, maybe with this signing, they can actually compete for a title next season, or at least make a big run in the Champions League. So I would give Sandro Tonale to Newcastle as well, 8.5. McAllister obviously went from Brighton to Liverpool for a fee around 35 million, when before it was reported 70 million, and I believe this is an amazing signing. He was one of the best players at the World Cup, playing for Argentina, starting pretty much every game, making Paredes drop to the bench, and getting him for 35 million, that's a steal, and I believe he's a perfect fit for what Jurgen Klopp is looking for in a midfield. And I believe this is a 10 out of 10 signing, mostly because of the price, but also because of the quality of McAllister. Ilkay Gundogan, Champions League, FA Cup and Premier League winner, treble winner, goes to FC Barcelona on a free, and this is another great signing for FC Barcelona. They needed experience and they needed depth, and that is exactly what Ilkay Gundogan will give them. Obviously, he will start ahead of Gavi in a lot of, especially the most important games, but I believe that's what Barca need. They need an experienced midfielder, and Ilkay Gundogan, captaining the Manchester City side over a couple of seasons now, is a really good thing for Barcelona. So I would give Ilkay Gundogan an 8 out of 10, mostly because of his age. He's 32, soon 33, so he's only going to be able to play around 1 to 2 seasons at the top level, I believe. But I will give it an 8 out of 10. Declan Rice, one of the most overhyped players, goes to Arsenal for a fee around 120 million. And this is absolutely crazy. The English bias towards English players just continues to show us why they are so overhyped. Declan Rice is not even a top 15 midfielder in the world, and he's going for, I believe, the 6th highest transfer fee of all time. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is not a great signing in my opinion, especially when it comes to the price. Declan Rice is he even better than Tonale? I don't think so. So I would give this rating, mostly because of the fee, I would give it a 6.5 out of 10. Next up, first Paris Saint-Germain player, which is Manuel Ugarte, going from Sporting Lisbon to Paris Saint-Germain for a fee around 60 million. And I believe Paris Saint-Germain here have gotten a steal. Obviously, it was a release clause. Sporting would have liked to ask for much more money, but with that release clause intact, it was really hard for them to negotiate around there. Paris Saint-Germain getting the midfielder they absolutely need and have needed for quite a time. A player in the midfield who can take the load out of players like Marco Verratti, Neymar Jr., and even players up in the attack. And this is a great signing for Paris Saint-Germain, and it may sound a bit biased, but similar to the McAllister signing, I see this signing as a 10 out of 10. You're getting pretty much a generational midfielder in his position for only 60 million, when we've heard the fees of Bellingham and Declan Rice. Perfect signing. Kai Havertz is next, obviously going for a big fee from Chelsea straight to their rivals Arsenal. And I mean, I don't see the quality in Havertz. I don't know how Real Madrid were interested in him before, but I believe he looked really great in the Bundesliga, but apart from that, he does not look great. His finishing is not good enough to be a striker, and his dribbling and playmaking is not good to be a number 10. So he's playing a position which not many teams use and not many teams will get the best out of. Obviously, Arsenal play this weird stuff football. Maybe Kai Havertz can fit into that, but he would not be scoring the goals that Arsenal are in need of. They would need an attacker, a striker, a goal scorer to take the load out of the Saka, Martinelli, and Odegaard. So I'm going to give Havertz to Arsenal a 7 out of 10 rating. To Chelsea, obviously this has been completed way before last summer, but now it's finalized and he will go to Chelsea for a free around of 65 million, which was his release clause. Yet again, a bit cheaper than he would have gone if there wasn't that release clause. And Nkunku, former Paris Saint-Germain player, I know him well. He scored goals against us in the Champions League. This is a great signing for Chelsea. He's going to play in that third man midfield. He works really hard off the ball and can always create what Chelsea need. And with his age and quality and even experience winning Bundesliga player of the season last season, just shows the quality. It was a bit sad that we could not see him at the World Cup this season, but Nkunku to Chelsea, great signing, great fee. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Next up, Lucas Hernandez, the second Paris Saint-Germain player of this video, and this is a good to great signing for Paris Saint-Germain. The only worrying thing is his injury woes, but if everything goes well, if he isn't overplayed, and if he doesn't get injured, this is a great signing by Paris Saint-Germain. But as I said, I cannot forget his injury woes, so I'm going to give Lucas Hernandez to Paris Saint-Germain a 7.5 out of 10. Kimmich is next, and Bayern obviously took him from Napoli with his release clause of around 55 million euros, and he will be heading to the Bavarian club to replace Lucas Hernandez, who I just mentioned. And this is a great signing. I've always been saying we should be signing Kimmich instead of Lucas Hernandez. He's 1 year younger. He was a tiny bit cheaper, but not anymore actually. And he doesn't have that injury problem. But Bayern are getting a great player here. Kimmich suits pretty much every club. He is that modern type of centre-back, so I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10. Been here for the ratings of the players. Let me know in the comments down below. Give me your ratings for these 10 players I mentioned, and let me know what you disagreed with. That's been it, and as usual, allez, 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 bye.